All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm Bear DeGidio. We are back with another episode of the JAXXON podcast. I'm here with Rampage Jackson, the one and only, the best co-host to ever do it. The show is popping off, and we have two legends in the house. But before we get down to this, I got to let you guys know we have one of the biggest sales of the year. Go use podcast 15. You get 15% off site-wide at JAXXON.com. Our best-selling Cubans, like the new Cuban 8mm. And if you guys are looking for all the new clothing, you can head over to club.jaxxon.com. Once again, you can use podcast 15 on that and get 15% off site-wide, all the clothing, the luggage, the eyewear. And we just launched our brand new Discord. So make sure you go follow the Discord. The link's in the description, and you can see all the giveaways and be invited here to watch the podcast live. And now we are going to jump right into it. Rampage, what do we got?
Man, we got some legends in the house. We got Sugar Shane Mosley and his son, Shane Mosley Jr. I got that right?
Yes, sir.
It's like, what's your fight name? Do you have like a nickname or nothing?
No, man. I just go and I just be myself. So Shane Mosley Jr.
Shane
was
Mosley
what it is.
That's what it is. And your father, what is he? Are you?
No, he's Jack Mosley.
Oh,
so he wanted me to be named Shane, and my mother was gonna name me Dante. So my name is Shane Dante Mosley.
Oh,
yeah.
For some reason, I thought you was a junior at first.
Nah,
I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy. And when I met your dad in Big Bear, you was there, right?
Yes, I
and
was.
You was a little kid.
Yeah, I was little.
You remember
Yes,
that?
Of course I do.
How old was you back then? Well, what year was it?
Man, I'm so bad with
Like
time.
2006 maybe? Something like that?
Because I remember you was training and you had to like take down 8 people before you like can get up off the mat. Like 8 heavyweights jumped on you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That was real hard. Do you guys train like that? Do you guys, when y'all spar for a fight, do y'all have like a round robins with a lot of
We
guys?
had three or maybe 4 different fighters that would come in and maybe do 3 to 12 or 3, 9. It just depends, So we try to keep them fresh, just like you. Almost like you did.
Yeah. You don't remember how old you were back then?
No, I don't remember.
Man, it's so long ago though.
Yeah, it was a while.
It had to been at least 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
At least, yeah.
At least.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
I'm 33 actually.
Damn!
I know. That's telling my age, right? No,
I'm 10 years as a professional now. And
10 years?
Yeah, it's crazy to say that out loud, right? But I'm just getting started. I'm just hitting my stride.
And you champion already?
Yes.
How many different division champions are you?
2. Yeah, so middleweight and then super middleweight. So I actually got a chance to fight Gabe Rosado for his Continental America's championship and a while back, and nobody thought I could beat him, and I showed the world that I could beat him, and I beat him.
Bro, I remember talking to him in Vegas. What a year? It was last year.
It was last year.
It was last year. It was in 23, and I was just listening to him talk. And he was so knowledgeable about boxing and even a little bit about MMA. He just knew it. And I knew that had to come from you, from watching you in the gym and stuff all day and learning from you.
Yeah, I think he watched a lot and learned a lot, but also he's very he loves the sport of boxing. He actually loves fighting. I mean, I watch him go to the gym, I guess at the Syndicate, and he's taking up the MMA style and doing a little jiu-jitsu, a little bit of everything.
What?
He tries a little bit of everything.
Well, that was one of my things for being a coach at Syndicate. I said I got to do it what the Romans do, right? If they doing this, I got to do what they're doing. So I made it a point to take every single class, and I even trained with the pros for 2 months.
Wow.
So yeah,
you never hear boxers training jiu-jitsu and wrestling and stuff like that.
You have to if you want to be a part of it, because that's the only way they will respect you. That's the only way they'll listen to you. Right. And if I want to be a part of that team, I got to do what they do so that they can respect me and honor that.
How do you feel about jiu-jitsu and
It was uncomfortable for me. I mean, having somebody's nuts in your face.
That's the thing I hate about this sport the most.
Yeah. But like, after a while, it's like, okay, this is just kind of what happens. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, I saw him. He was rolling with one of the best grapplers in the world, Nicky Rod. Okay. And he went straight to the nut to the face technique. He went straight to put Nicky Rod nuts right on his face. Then he posted it on Instagram.
Bro, this guy's like one of the greatest grapplers in the world, Nicky Rod. He's a heavyweight. It's like 6'5". It's like Rampage. It's like me wrestling with Rampage.
No, he's ripped.
He's ripped, right?
There's nothing I could do. I mean, speaking of coaches, I remember spending some time up in Big Bear with you, with Jake Paul at your house.
Right.
You guys were so gracious to me. You let me come up there when DAZN was filming. I think it was DAZN.
DAZN, yeah.
One of Jake Paul's first fights. And I walk in the house and I see everybody and I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm in Rocky. Like everybody's in sweatsuits running. We in the woods. It's like there's snow everywhere. Like they literally, their house is just right in the...
He trained Jake Paul?
The second fight, I was training Jake Paul. Yeah, for Anderson Gibbs, I believe it was. Anderson Gibbs.
And his whole house was like a fight camp for Jake Paul. And
Jake Paul was all there. All his people, everybody. Yeah.
Did you know he was going to be as good as the boxer as he is now?
I felt that he had the mental talent to go in there, and because he seemed like I had to test him. I took him down the street to Abel Sanchez gym, another boxing gym, to real fighters, and just let him get in there and see what he can do. And the guys are hitting him a little bit, almost dropped him a couple times, and he didn't quit. So that let me know that he had heart, and that's the main, I think, ingredient in a fighter. Do he got heart? I mean, you can do throw all kind of punches or whatever, but if you don't have this and this, right, man. It's just nothing. Yeah,
I remember listening to you, and one of the things that I thought was so captivating, I mean, you're a world champion. You're one of the best to ever do it. Everybody knows your name. You obviously know how to breed champions and fighters, right? Figuratively and literally, that's your son.
Yeah.
But I remember listening to you, because Jake Paul's a good friend of mine, and watching him, he's treating it so seriously. And you were basically just explaining to him like the science of it. Yeah. You were sitting there, you were kind of, the team was very united. They had their content team and him, but it was boxing. It was boxing first. It almost felt like you were able to change his mindset from being a boxer to being like, this is what I'm doing for a living now. Yes. And I feel like that's the biggest difference. Like you could see this kid really just wanted to do this forever. He didn't want to just go box. He wanted to be a boxer now. And that's the difference. Right. Like a lot of these influencers, content creators, they just want to go box. Yeah. They don't want to be boxers. Right. Yeah. Jake, I felt like when he met you and got inspired by you or was like focused on listening to you, he became a boxer because of you. Like, because he got to feel that in-person touch. And then watching you move around the garage and you had built a whole gym in his garage. I was like, this is just next level. Did you do a lot of camps in Big Bear?
Yeah, I did a lot of camps in Big Bear. I mean, a lot of other fighters, like Canelo was actually in my camp. I think you came down a couple of times. Triple G trained there. I mean, I had a lot of the Charlo brothers. Well, was Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo was there. Even Gabe Rosado is actually trained up there. So there's a lot of people that came to that, that gym right there. Yeah. A lot of people.
And what about you? You get ready for fights there in Big Bear?
No, I like to do like just like how my name is Shane Mosley Jr. I like to do my own thing and create that on my own lane. You know what I mean? I ever since I got into boxing, everybody said, "Oh, you're following your dad's footsteps. You're doing like your dad." And it's like, I do the same thing, but I want to be my own man, because if I am constantly putting him like by me, they are going to always see that shadow or want to put that on me. They're going to want me to be, you'll never live up to him, but I'm not doing it for him. I'm doing it for me. I'm being a fighter because I love fighting. I love everything it is to be a fighter. And that's a testament to what you said about him, which was he lives a fight lifestyle, right? He's a fighter through and through. It's not just like what he does, is who he is. And I think I got that. But the only way that I can show the world that that's me is by, doing my own thing in my own lane. Yeah. And then, bringing them on stuff like this when necessary.
Do you feel you get a fair shake, or do you think that you get a little extra pressure, a little extra too much attention because he is your dad?
I'm getting a fair shake now. Now that I'm confident to say it out loud that I'm my own man. I'm doing this thing for myself.
It was hard for you to say it. Now.
Yeah, I got belts like this because of me, because of the hard work that I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, leave that on the table. Let me see that.
Yeah. You got it.
Let me see that thing.
It was hard for you to say. It's hard for you to say that. It was hard for you to come out and say that what you're saying right now, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm 10 years as a pro now. It took me 10 years to be able to be like, this is finally me.
That's very important too.
You know what I mean? And it's very important to be able to say that, because that gives you the strength to move forward, in everything else you do.
I think this is what the problem my son and I have. My son couldn't figure it out. Like I was just, my son decided to be a fighter, and I didn't stop him. But what I did was, look, I was like, son, I made a lot of mistakes in this sport. I want to set it up where you don't make the same mistakes. And that's all I was trying to do. But he couldn't. He don't have the type of mindset that you have. I felt like that's the problem. He was living in my shadow.
How old is he?
He's 23 now.
So he hasn't, not yet. I'm 33, right? It took me a very long time to be able to get to this point. So he still has a lot of time, especially if he loves it. If it's in him, it'll come out. But the thing is I feel like, and I understand as a father, you don't want him to make mistakes, but the mistakes are not the bad thing. The mistakes are actually really good if you know how to use them, right? I've lost 4 times as a professional. And you think that's going to stop me from becoming a champion? Hell no. I'm going to become a world champion, and I've made my mistakes. I've done things wrong. All those things have happened, but I needed those mistakes in order to become a man and become stronger. Those mistakes, because you've made mistakes, like you said, and those mistakes have made you who you are. I wouldn't be standing here or sitting here with you if you didn't make those mistakes. So don't stop him from making those mistakes. Those mistakes are important.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you saying, but mistakes I was talking about was mostly like, financials and managers, and because I got ripped off by managers and I didn't know anything about financial planning and all the different type of stuff. So I set him up with that type of stuff. But the main problem that I had with him is that he want to fight and be vegan, and I just don't feel like
you can't do that.
Thank you. I don't feel like.
I mean, you can, but you can't.
Right. I just don't. That's what I wanted. Mistake I was trying to stop him from making.
The thing is that the fight game, I think, is so mental. Like, there's a lot of things that Shane does and I do, but the difference before was the mentality. Now his mentality is different, and you can see the difference in his fight. So I would say that it's not so much how much speed or power or whatever he has. I say it's right here. It's how much he believes.
Yes.
And that's anybody, any fighter, or any person.
Right.
Well, what they believe, how they believe themselves. Like, you believe in yourself, and it didn't matter. You believe that you're going to win. Right. In your soul. And when they believe that, then that's how I believed. So when they believe that, then that's what's going to happen. And he believes that. So that's why it looks different.
Yeah.
He has speed, power, all the other stuff. But yeah, now he's a true believer in his work. Right. So that's the most important thing.
So he's not. I take it your dad's not your trainer.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think he had actually talked about this not too long ago on talking to somebody else or an interview or something like that. But he had said that a lot of times father and son situations work, right? But they hardly ever work when the dad is a legend.
Right.
Or the dad did really, like, we could go down the list.
Right.
Kobe Bryant, his dad wasn't a legend. Steph Curry, his dad wasn't a legend. Like Floyd Mayweather, his dad wasn't a legend. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to do something in order to separate yourself to where you can have that lane for yourself. And that's not for anybody else. That's for you as the fighter.
Bro. Yeah.
That's not for anybody else. That's for you as a fighter. You got to be able to say, look, I love you. I love you. And I think that you have a wealth of knowledge unlike anybody else. And I do believe that. He probably has more knowledge than any coach that I could ever get. But he won't allow me to be, not on purpose, he won't allow me to be me because he wants so badly for me not to make the mistakes. So he's going to operate as if it was him because I'm his seed. So obviously he's going to say, no, you shouldn't do it that way because I did it like this. This is how it worked for me. And it's like, I get all that. I love you, but I'm not you. As much as I look like you and people say, oh man, you remind me so much of him. I'm not you. And I have to be me. And the only way I can be me and the only way I can continue to do stuff like this is by continuously strengthening that muscle of me. And then eventually I'm gonna show the world how great I am. I'm gonna show the world that I'm gonna be undisputed world champion, middleweight world champion. I'm going to be.
I believe it.
100%. But in order for me to let everybody else believe it, like you just said, I have to believe it first.
I mean, even the passion and the style of which you talk in terms of your mindset, obviously that comes from being
100%.
a son of a world champion because you talk with a lot of passion. Even when I talked to you on the phone before your last fight, Rampage linked us up and Rampage was like, yo, this kid's going to be a champ. Even Rampage was gassing you up. This kid's going to be amazing. So we got you on JAXXON and you went out there and stunned everybody. My pops was in here earlier. We were all watching you, Like we talk about famous fights, and to transition here a little bit, 2000 ring event of the year.
Right.
You fight Oscar De La Hoya. It's the first fight ever at Staples Center.
Yes.
Can you walk me through that? That was like one of the biggest fights ever.
Well, yeah, I mean, moving up from lightweight to welterweight, and I was pretty big as a lightweight. I beat everybody, all knockouts, whatever, title defenses. But fighting Oscar really made me mainstream worldwide. Even though we both were from California, people recognize Oscar. They recognize me, but not like they did with him, and especially at 147. I think that a lot of people thought that me going to 47 would be a problem. But what people didn't understand was that in the amateurs, I was actually bigger than Oscar. I actually fought bigger. He fought 132, I fought 139 in the amateurs. So I was actually the bigger person and are the same size. I didn't know that. But I think that going into that is something that I really want. I really wanted to be great. I really wanted to be that guy. And in order to be the guy, I had to go through Oscar. And going to the Staples Center for the first time and seeing everybody around the ring. I mean, it was so many people, so many different celebrities that, I mean, it was like everybody I seen on TV or whatever, I just walk in the ring, they was all around just watching. I was like, man, this is my moment. This is my time to shine. I'm going to do it.
And it was the day before the Lakers won the championship. It was the day right before. So it was a huge event. Everybody was already in the city. Yeah. Everybody was like at the Staples Center, like just, showing everybody love. So, it made it that much bigger.
Wow.
Really, yeah, really. And then, beating Oscar for the fight, I think that I really had, I think our hand speed was pretty much similar, but I think my foot speed was the difference where he couldn't catch up to me. He was more like his feet were more, I guess you could say like cemented in the ground. He was just trying to get to me, and I was just moving, kind of like flowing around. And from the 6th round on, I just kind of just left him. I just left him in the dust, and from there, the rest is history. I mean, after that, I went on to win more, fights and fight a lot of great fights, a lot of great people. I fought everybody, so I tried to make sure that I fought everybody, like Winky or even Vernon or whatever. I fought these guys because I remember when I came up, I didn't get a chance to get these fights because I was so good. And they were like, no, we're not going to fight him. We're going to go to the next guy. We're going to go to the next guy. So I was like, no, I believe I'm the best. I'll fight everybody.
That's a problem in boxing when you really good. People can duck you and stuff like that. Right. MMA it's harder to duck people. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's more. I don't think it's so much with the fighters as much. I think it's more with the promoters. I think the promoters want to, keep the fight, keep the O or keep their money right there, and then they won't let you fight the guy from the other promotion. Back in the day, it was Don King and Bob Arum, and they were both free to go back and forth. But nowadays, you got, I guess, too many promoters or whatever, and they don't want to let their fighter lose. But we miss out on all the big fights.
Right.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there, but the biggest reason is because one organization, or like you say, like the UFC, right? They have a lot of the fighters. So all the fighters are in house. So they don't care who wins, loses, stuff like that. If I'm a promoter that only has a top guy and my guy loses and he loses his belt, then my value as a promoter or his promoter drops. His value as a fighter drops. So if there's not one organization running the whole thing, then it makes it that much more, you got to choose, because I want to make sure my guy looks good. I want to make sure my guy continues to win so that I continue to make money. My promotion continues to make money and I continue to do good. That's why, I do feel like UFC, PFL, things like that have the upper hand because their guys can fight more. They can promise them more because they have more fighters. They can, give them more set money and things like that. So I think that is the benefit. I think it's kind of funny when my MMA buddies tell me like, boxers get paid more. If you are the top guy, you definitely want to be a boxer. If you are a general fighter, you want to be in one of those organizations.
Yeah. I was explaining that to someone today. But I think a lot of MMA fans would like to see like the champion of UFC fight the champion of Pride, like back in the day, and the champion of UFC fight the champion of Bellator and ONE FC. Right. We would like to see that, but MMA, they don't do what boxing. They don't.
Well, that's why, because I'm not giving my money over to you guys. Yeah. Why would I give my money over to you guys? In boxing, we have to do that or fights won't happen. But like I save my money by keeping my guys here because I have, however many fighters the UFC has, how many fighters the ONE has, you know what I mean? So it makes more sense because if your guy beats my guy, that says that your organization is better than mine.
You're right.
So why would I do that? That makes no sense. I could just keep this conversation from a distance. No, we were better than you. We're better than you. And keep it right there.
But the fans, like you said, the fans lose.
The fans lose out. Yeah. And I think PBC was kind of doing that. Some of the welterweight fights.
They were.
They were kind of, that's why Crawford probably couldn't fight a lot of the guys until he kind of got out the contract with Bob Arum or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the fights nowadays are being set up predominantly where they're being held out for a long time. Like we don't see a lot of the prime guys fighting prime other people in their prime, right? And I feel like that's the biggest miss compared to an era like yours, for example, where you just fought everybody. In 2008, when you returned to light middleweight, you fight Mayorga, right? Yeah. You beat him.
Yep. And Oscar.
Then,
I actually met Oscar too.
Yeah. And then your second return at welterweight against Margarito.
Well,
then you beat him too. Yeah. But a lot of people after those 2 big years of you said, no, if you come back, you fight Margarito at welterweight, you're going to get destroyed.
Right.
And you come through and you just annihilate this guy. Can you walk me through those 2 years? Because those are 2 huge fights that really show how you were able to control these divisions without even trying.
Well, the problem that they had with me was that I was physically strong. And I was never really a 154 pounder. I just was strong enough to fight there. So I just kind of, when I went up to 54 to fight these guys, I beat them up there because I was just strong like Vargas and whatever. But when I came back down to 47 to destroy Margarito, I was a big 47 pounder fighting 54. So I just came down to 47, my natural weight, and destroyed them. And the thing with Margarito was that a lot of people were like, oh man, he's gonna walk him down or do this. But the Mexican style fighting doesn't work with me because I'm pretty much from California. This is where I grew up, fighting nothing but Mexicans. So if you try to beat me with that type of style that I grew up when I was 8 years old, all the way up until, there's no way you're gonna beat me. Not with that style.
What is that style?
That style is like, it's aggressive and they're throwing loopy wide shots and kind of bobbing away, but just being in close, fighting in close, like that's my style. That's what I like to do. So, but in the beginning, I used to like box people first. I would get up and box and move around. Like the East Coast fighters, they really wouldn't know, so they would try to come close to me. When they got close to me, it was even worse for them. So I was a boxer puncher, per se, but I was a boxer till I got a chance to get in there and punch. Till you got close to me, so we can get busy. So yeah.
What was that boxer's name that you was that Mayorga that would smoke the cigarette?
Yes, right.
I saw like the stare down and he had the cigarette and he blew his
pucker. Yeah.
Did you guys get in the fight right then and there?
No, we just kind of did a little scuffle thing. It was.
Was it really bad blood, or
it was more show than bad blood? I mean, Mayorga, he's cool, but I remember the first time we fought in LA too, and he's like, I'm the matador, but his family, they all like me. Oh, I like you, but this what I do. I talk shit, basically. This is what I do. So don't take it personal. Like,
well, that's cool. He said that.
Yeah, I was like, we're cool. Like I don't care. Whatever. We still gotta get in there and fight and do what we're gonna do. I don't care if you talk shit. If you don't, we gotta do what we gotta do.
I like fighting people that talk shit. It motivates me and it sells tickets.
Yeah. Right. And that's kind of like with me too. I just kind of like I like. Not that they talk shit, but they could talk shit. Or if the crowd is against me, like a lot of times they used to be against me sometimes, it actually gives me more fuel. Like when I fought Margarito and the crowd, I was in California and the crowd's against me, pro Mexican crowd. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, this is what you think? All right, this is going to happen. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to really let you have it. And I trained so hard for this fight even before it was getting ready to happen.
So I'm gonna tell you guys a story about like that one, or at least my experience of that fight. So I didn't know anything about like the hand wrap thing where he wore plaster of Paris.
What?
Margarito wore plaster of Paris. Yeah, Margarito.
He was trying to wear plaster of Paris.
So not
against you.
Yeah, against him.
And that's what Cotto found out.
Yeah. Well, they found out because of the results of that, and they found out when he had the plaster of Paris in his gloves for that fight, they figured like it was because of that you got beat up, because that was the fight right before
Cotto.
Right before Cotto. I mean, his fight was right after the Cotto fight. Yeah. Anyways, so I didn't know that. I just come there. I'm coming late. I was there with my grandfather, and we show up there. And at the time, I go in. They bring us to the back. I see him. As I come in, he's like on the way out to the ring. Yeah. And so I see him, and he like looks at me. He's like, Shane, this is how you do it. And then walks out to the arena and like basically, I'm gonna show you how we about to get it done. This is how a fighter looks. And then walks out and then has that performance. Like I felt when he said that to me, like the fight was already won. You know what I mean? Like, wow. Watch this masterpiece. Watch this. And it was like before it happened, it was like literally right before he was walking out to the ring. And I found out after the fight that like about the plaster of Paris thing and like stuff like that. But like it was crazy like to see like his mindset going into the ring, like there's nothing he can do. Like, and I tell people like when I saw that, like that dude could have had a bat or anything. Yeah. He was losing that fight.
So can you break down how they caught him with the plaster in his gloves, or how, like, for people that don't know a lot about boxing, you were about to fight a professional boxer who was basically had cement in his gloves before he was about to fight you.
So what happens is my coach at the time, he went over there to check you can check each other's hand wraps when they're rapping. So meaning the commission's there, and then they'll bring a coach from his side to watch my coach rap, and then my coach can bring somebody from our side to watch their side rap. But my coach liked to go over and watch the other person rap. So he watched it, and he seen there was some funny stuff. He kind of felt the hand wraps and his dust had come off of it.
Well, so before that, so what happened was, because Nazim told me, he was like, when they got there, Margarito already had one wrapped.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He already had one wrapped already, and
before he got in,
before he got there,
before the commission watched.
No, before he watched.
Because
the coach supposed to go over there and watch them wrap the hands.
And so he told them, hey, cut those off. Cut them off. I didn't see that one get wrapped. I need to see it get wrapped. Right. And so he was like, no, it's all good. The commission guy was here. Like, it's all good. Yeah, he said, no, cut it. So for sure they cut it. And then
he seen the substance when they cut it. So he basically he stopped him from wrapping that hand. The first thing he said, rewrap it. Because I wasn't here to watch it, so I want to watch you wrap the hand.
And sure enough, that's the stuff that was in there.
The stuff came out.
So he didn't make it to the fight with that.
No.
So did he get fined for even trying it?
They got fined. I think he got suspended for about a couple of years.
Wow.
In the
I don't think he could have fought in California anymore. He was suspended indefinitely in California, but he could fight other places, which is, in my opinion, unfortunate. He should have never boxed ever again.
That's very dangerous. You could really hurt somebody with that.
That's in my opinion, that's like attempted murder. Like, I mean, like, cause guys have died from that.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Guys die in the ring.
There's guys that died.
Yeah.
There's one particular, there's a documentary on it.
Yeah, there's a famous guy, he's a white guy, and he's boxing the guy with the black hair.
Yeah.
The long.
And literally he died.
Because he
had plaster of Paris.
What happened to the fighter that did that?
I don't know.
He should go to jail, right?
Yeah, he should. I mean, you would think.
But did your coach ever come back to you and say, yo, he was doing this, do you still want to take the fight?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah. So they came back to me my coach came with the hand wrap, and then the doctor came in and said, yeah, this is plaster of Paris. So he showed it to the commission, to the doctor. He snatched the hand wrap and then ran back to the room. And I was like, do you still want to fight? Or I said, I trained this hard. We're fighting.
We're fighting.
Rewrap your hands. Let's go get this. Let's get this on.
Yeah,
definitely.
So when because honestly, like both fights that you had, that 2008, then the 2009, you had two huge fights, right? You went from welterweight to middleweight and back.
Well, that was Mayorga was 2008,
Yep.
and then he was 2009. Yeah.
So coming into that, and obviously everybody thought that was going to be a massacre.
Yeah, I was a 71 underdog.
Yeah.
Well, it was.
So
Massacre.
yeah. So do you think that was what kind of just sent you over the edge? Like, all right, now I'm coming, or did you already go into this saying, "Why you guys counting me out"?
I was going in there saying, "Why you guys count me out?"
Yeah.
I was going in there with that mentality
Wow.
that I'm going to knock you out. I didn't care about what the raps or whatever. That didn't matter to me. It was like I trained so hard for the fight. I mean, I had so many big guys. And I actually, Gabe Rosado was one of my sparring partners for that fight. I had 1, 2, 3. He was the third or the fourth sparring partner. I would just throw him in last and let him he was my last sparring partner. But
Just throw him in last four guys, racking up bodies in Big Bear.
But they were all like almost 200 pounds and under. Like they was bigger. Like
Wow.
Enrique Ornelas was like, looked like he fought Bernard Hopkins. He had fought Bernard Hopkins right after our sparring session. Who else? And his brother, I can't think of his name. Andrade. Something Andrade.
Yeah.
Librado Andrade. He was his brother. He was big, like 109 pounds. Then still Eddie Sanchez was like 190 or something really big.
Why you sparring with big guys?
Because he was bigger. He was taller. Wasn't so much bigger, but taller. And I wanted to get guys like his height that come at me like nonstop in Big Bear, where I could just I can throw as hard as I want to. So that's probably why everything was hurting him so much, because I was practicing on punching hard all the time with big guys where they can absorb the shots.
Yeah.
But he couldn't absorb them like that. Yeah.
When you look at fighting right now, like obviously your last name is a tough name to carry, right? You have a lot to step up to, and you're obviously doing it, and you're doing it at your own speed, your own taste. That's one thing that I thought was really, I think, commendable and respectable as a person, as an athlete. You never even mentioned your dad's name one time when I talked to you. It wasn't nothing. It was like, yo, this about me. I didn't even bring it up. But I just thought that was dope, because there's a lot of people that write off the coattails of their family's last name. But you said, yo, watch what I'm going to do. Yo, I'm in training. Then you went out there and showed the world, and you won that last fight. And you kind of won it with ease, right? You do your thing. Do you feel like it's a burden, though, going into fights? You think you got a bigger target on your back?
I think I have as biggest target as I made. I mean, people want to come fight me because they feel like I'm a good fighter. Mm-hmm. That's what I look at. If that's their motivation, I can't speak for nobody else. Yeah. But for me, I just go out and be the best fighter I can be. I'm going to be undisputed world champion. I don't know if you ever watched the Last Dance, but what I've taken from that was Phil Jackson talking about how he would always coin a season, and that was the Last Dance. So for this one, this season for me is crowning the king. So I'm going to be the middleweight king.
Yeah, you can tell he's not even focused on whatever the other opponents are thinking about, his dad or anything else. He's focusing on his own goals and his own journey. What he's doing. You can tell.
I love it.
But what does it matter what he's thinking? It don't matter what he's thinking, because he doesn't determine my life. I do. And the thoughts in here, what I believe, that is what determines my life. So if I let him determine my life, or no offense, him or anybody else for that matter, I'm going to be not where I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be where I want to be. And good, bad, and different, I have to do all the things possible to get me to where I want to go. And if I fall short, that's because of me and nobody else.
Yeah. Have you ever sparred your dad?
Yes, I used to hate it.
Wow.
I used to hate it. I actually used to cry.
No.
I swear.
He didn't want to
put it on him like that?
No.
Put it on him like that?
No, because he didn't want
I
to
didn't want to
punch
hit him. I used to be like,
come on, let's go.
I used to be like I could punch anybody else for that matter. There's so many guys that I could punch on. Why you want me to box you? It doesn't make sense to me.
It was the same size.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It just never made sense to me.
He ever put the work on you for acting up?
Well, actually, it's funny because one of the last times we ever sparred, he wanted me to hit him hard, and I wouldn't. And so, sure enough, he puts his head on my chest right here to kind of smother me. and he comes with a right hook over the top. Literally hits me right in the neck. I swear I couldn't turn like this. I had to like be like this. Somebody called my name, and literally I'd be like this for like 2 weeks.
Man, you got a good son, man. I spar with my son. He tried to kick the dog shit out of me. Man. Oh my God. Roger, he be trying to kick the dog shit out of me.
What do you do?
Man, he just goes. He got this crazy overhand that he just sneaks in there. He go for it.
You hit him back?
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! We go for it.
Oh, so you hit him back?
Hell yeah! My son,
how big is he?
Well, he walks around like 190, and sometimes 200 if he ain't, in shape. But he fights. He was doing his amateur at 170. Okay. Then he wanted to go pro at 155.
Oh, so it went down smaller.
He went down smaller.
Why?
And vegan. He said because he's not that tall.
Okay.
For a 170 pounder, the guys at 170 in MMA, they're probably cutting from what, like 215?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he
200.
200. Yeah, 200.
So he wanted to go down to 155. Yeah. And
how tall is he?
He's like 5'9", 5'10".
Okay. A little bit taller than me then.
Yeah. He's not super tall.
What do you do to get your mind right? You read books, you have audio tapes, you look up to anybody that helps you get your mindset right besides boxing? You have a very strong mind.
Yeah, I mean I have a mental coach. His name is Brandon Epstein.
Wow.
I read a lot of books. I watch fighters. I watch fights all the time.
You watch a lot of tape.
Yeah, I mean I definitely feel like I got a lot of my belief and my mindset from him. You know what I mean? Just like being around it, just absorbing it, knowing what it takes to be a champion and to be like, okay, that's what it takes to be a champion. I have that. Mm-hmm. I have those same things. Mm-hmm. And so why wouldn't I believe in myself? You know what I mean? I have a lot of the attributes that he has, you know what I mean? As far as the mentality goes.
During fight camp, are you involved a lot though during the camps?
I come down and watch.
And I love it that way. Like I love that. No. But the thing is this.
I'll watch.
But the thing is this, right? Like I love that. I love that I can be like, I can come to him like, you're my dad. Right? Like not like, oh, you're my coach or you're like somebody that's like, like trying to tell me like, like to do this and do that. Like, right. Like I feel like I can confide in him as a father. Like, I can confide in him when, situations are going, going down. So with that being said, like, I just feel like that's the best way to do it. You know what I mean? Especially I can get that mentality and that understanding.
Do you feel a lot as a professional boxing legend and someone that's seen your son having to go through the ranks? Do you feel that the game has changed a lot, or do you feel that you're still as more effective, efficient, and you can be as influential as you want as a fighting coach in today's game? Do you feel like anything's changed?
I could be very influential as a fighting coach, but I think that his mind is very important, how he believes, how he thinks. And I think it's like there's things I can tell him that he can do that I don't have to preach on him to do certain things that he knows how to do already. And, I think that I can tell him like the little small things they need to know to be world champion or to understand what's going on in the ring. Like he said, oh, this is happening, that's happening. Why do I feel this way? I can say, okay, well, I felt this way back when I did this. The mentality of myself, I felt like, oh, I couldn't do it because, or I could do it because. I can give him little tips. And I think that's better for me than for me just kind of like on him telling him. Whereas if it was somebody else that wasn't, it would probably be a little bit more easier maybe because the mentality of the father thing is not there. And I would say it's kind of like if your father's there with you all the time, right? And then he goes to the gym as your coach, and then you go back. He's always talking to you, like it's kind of like
it's too much.
It's too much, right? So it's like it felt like when I was telling him things like, Shane, move your head, jab, or do this. It's like I'm scolding him instead of teaching him like a coach. Like now, when his coach tells him this, that, whatever, it's like, oh yeah, okay, it's like a team. They're a team. I'm a team, but I'm his father too. Sorry, I'm his father too.
Did you start off? Did you start off showing him stuff when he was younger?
Yeah.
Though?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was my first coach.
Okay.
I showed him everything. Yeah.
But your dad,
right hands, and my father's my coach.
That's right. I remember.
But see,
that.
the difference with my father was like we were saying is he wasn't a Hall of Famer, was a fighter like that. So we kind of had that type of brother type of bond. It wasn't like father son. It was more like a big brother type of thing. Even he was my father, but it was more like a big brother. Like we'll talk about things, go back and forth, and we do that too. But it was just more so because I would go to fights and I noticed that, you know, he'll be going to the ring and people would be on me. Oh, here you go. Let me take a picture. Let me do this. Let me do that. And it was about me. And it wasn't about him. And then I said, well, I believe I need to take that step back so it can be about you. And I'll just sit back and I want to sit back and watch. And I'll tell you everything you need to know. If anything you need to know, I'll tell you. Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is when it comes to boxing.
All right, so we were doing a fight in Tennessee. All right, and so he was my coach at this time. Literally, I'm about to walk to the ring. Like literally, I'm in that holding spot where literally a guy comes up from the crowd and is like, as we about to walk, I'm supposed to, like, my music is playing right now. He's like, hey man, can I take a picture with you? And so the nice guy that he says yes, and I said, get the out of here. Like I'm about to fight. Do you see I'm about to fight right now? I'm walking. This is my song right now. Like, go somewhere, man. Like, no.
Yeah, they can throw you off. They can throw you off a little bit.
It can throw you mentally off.
Yeah.
So it's like, we can't do that. You know, he has to have his own thing. It has to be about him, not about nothing about me. It has to be all about him. If he's going to be world champion, I want to be world champion. I want to be the best. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want, it's not about me. No more. When it comes to that, you know, when it's in when he's getting ready to fight, he's getting ready to do his thing. All of his whole team, everybody is him, and I'll be there cheering along. I just be right there cheering. I'm cool with that cheering.
Yeah.
It's amazing though. Obviously, it's working. You're winning. You're fighting. Absolutely. You're doing the best you can. You're climbing through the ranks. You're getting attention without the father figure, the champion behind you, but still everybody knowing he's your family and your energy to each other is obviously. One thing I think I love the most is when family, like, you know, Drake said, no one wins when the family feuds. You know what I mean? Right. So, like, I love it when you could see legends can be appreciative of their kids being champions and being, you know, successful. I think a lot of people don't realize how hard it is sometimes for the kid. If the dad is such a big legend and such a world champion, sometimes they don't want the kid to do what they did. Sometimes that's all they had in life and they didn't have success after that.
And I think a lot of times the kid don't be as hungry as the father is, and it's totally different with him.
Sometimes,
it's totally different with him.
And I guess we talked about that. I was like, this is about you, Shane. This is not about me. This is you. This is your life. You have your kids. You have family. You have everything. This is your life. So what you gonna do with your life? You know, I did what I did with my life. Now it's your turn. What you gonna do? You know, it's not about me. It's about you. It's about what you have to do.
You have sons?
Yes, I do have two.
You got two? How old are they?
10 and 8.
Are they boxing?
My oldest is. And I stressed to him how much I didn't want him to box. And I told him that he couldn't box for a long time, and he bugged me and bugged me and bugged me. And I still told him no. And I pushed it off. He had his first fight like 8 months ago, and he won. So
he got it in.
Yeah, he got it. Oh yeah, he got
he's
it.
Good.
Oh
he's
yeah,
good.
my son can fight.
Are you training him?
Yes.
Do you find it a little hypocritical? Or?
No, absolutely, I do. But
he understands now.
Yeah.
But the thing is like I wanted to tell him no, so that he can continuously go against what I said. And persist, because that's what's going to happen. That's why I said to you about your son getting the failures or messing up or doing the wrong things, the bumps in the road, right? Those are important, right? People to tell you no, right? Like I need that, because if I really want this, I'm going to go through the no. I'm going to go through the failures. I'm going to go through anything, because all of it is important in order to, it's like lifting weights.
Yeah. Back to what your father just said. Now you understand. I said this to my son. I said, son, you will not understand how much I love you and why I do and say the the things I do until you have your own kids. So I try to get my son, I try to get him to, listen, go out and meet a girl. Go make me a granddad. First, I didn't want to, but he's 23 now. I had my first 21. Yeah. But my son ain't got no hoes. So he ain't gonna never have no damn kid. He ain't gonna never. Hey, you know I keep it real. I even tried to hook my son. I found this nice girl. Oh my God, she's beautiful. She's nice. She's a good girl. She don't drink. You know, and this, all that. And she's very beautiful. I know her mom for a while.
Yeah.
No. What, me and her mom just friends.
You know what that means.
I know mom for a while.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Me and her mom.
Jeff said okay.
Me and her mom just friends. Hey, do you guys know that some cultures they have like arranged marriages, and they work out better.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of times it's still divorce rate, but it's less divorce rate than in America. Right. And so I wanted my son because he don't have a social life. He don't go nowhere, do nothing. I said, look here. I asked him. I said, look, you want to meet this girl? I got a girl, a nice girl. Let's go to dinner. You want to meet her? He said, yeah, I want to meet her. And he said, let me see a picture. I showed him a picture. He said, yeah, I want to meet this girl. And they hit it off. So I thought I'm a good matchmaker. And
so what happened?
He fucked it up.
Oh man.
He didn't text her. He didn't text her back. He wasn't texting her back. He wasn't doing it. He said, I just want to focus on my career. I said, well, why you didn't tell me that before I fucking took you to dinner with her and meet her? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She liked him too. But think about this. If my son, if he was doing what he meant to do, he was going to be a superstar in MMA and be a multi-millionaire and all this stuff. Yeah. So you want to meet a girl before you get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what, and he said like, oh, you being controlling. I said, oh, I'm just trying to hook you up. Yeah. You don't got no hoes. How you gonna make me a grandfather?
Yep.
How you balance your family life, the love life, the families, the relationships? How did you balance all that?
Well, I'm older now, so.
Why you asking about his love life in front of his son?
His son's old. His son's a man.
I'm older now, so they do their thing. You know, he has his family, and then my other kids, 22, 21, and 20. Mm-hmm. You know, college, and they're doing their thing. So
he's the only boxer of your kids?
he's the only boxer. Yeah. Yeah, he went to, I think you started at 16, right? He went to start at 16. 15.
I had my first amateur fight at 17. Yeah.
How do you look at, like, most boxers, they don't have the lineup that you've had, right? Of fights. They don't have the Oscars and the Canelos and the Floyds and the Pacquiaos and the Miguel Cottos. Like, you fought, you know, some of the greatest fighter names of all time. You have one of the craziest lineups, right? In the modern era. Yeah. Like, out of all those fighters, who do you think was the best boxer you had to face?
I mean, it's hard to say who's the best because it's at different times, and I was older at certain times. You know, so I mean, at the time, I would say that Oscar was probably one of the top. At 2000, that was the top fight for both of us. You know, and I think that he was the top of his game. I was the top of my game. I think that were two elites at the same time.
Were you older when you fought Floyd?
I was the older for it.
And you almost knocked him out, bro. I saw that, man. You the only person that rocked him like that.
Yeah. And I'm like 5 or 6 years older than Floyd, yeah.
Bro, it was like, you almost knocked him out. I respect Floyd. You got
Floyd, he's a good fighter, great fighter.
He's a great fighter, but I just felt like he just barely held on in there because he held you up when you remember when his legs buckled?
He did what he needed to do to win as a world champion. You know, that's what he was supposed to do. You know, there were. That's why I said I said Oscar, because with Oscar I was 100%, he was 100%. With Floyd I wasn't really 100%. With Pacquiao I wasn't 100%. I was getting older. My body was breaking down, but I was still good enough to be in there and almost knock him out. But with Floyd you have to be like 100%. With the top fighters at that time, you had to be 100%, and I was a little bit older too, as well.
Bro, I want to see you do one of those exhibition matches with Conor McGregor or somebody. He's looking to fight.
Oh, he is. Because maybe, Conor McGregor would be a great.
That'd be a great one.
I remember when we were supposed to, he called out all the fighters that Floyd, beat. He said that he would beat the same fighters, and I said, okay, well, I'll fight. And then all of a sudden, nothing happened.
He went quiet.
It went
Radio
quiet.
silence.
It radio silence. And then I see him in that fight floor. I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. But here we go. And then well, I've been trying to do exhibitions now because I still, I'm in pretty good shape. I mean, I'm 52 years old, but I think I can still get in there and make some noise. And Nate Diaz, I wanted to do something with him, or Cowboy Cerrone or something.
Oh, that'd be a good one too.
Yeah, but
They don't want to bite back.
I think the wife says something like that and want Cowboy to do it. And then, what's the other one? What's the
Dylan Dennis?
No, not Dylan Dennis too, but not him. But I want to do him. I want Dylan Dennis.
What about what's his name? Anthony Pettis.
Anthony?
He fought Roy Jones. He beat Roy Jones.
Showtime Pettis.
Yeah, Showtime Pettis. He beat Roy Jones, but Roy Jones is a little bit.
But how big is he?
I don't know how much he weighs.
Probably because what was he? 170, right?
Yeah, 170, 180.
Yeah, that's too big for you, huh? You're a
No,
smaller.
I go 171 right now. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah, but I was fighting 47, but
Are you interested in fighting over there in Saudi Arabia?
of course. I definitely will go over there and fight.
Man,
or exhibition, whatever they want to do.
of course.
Whatever they try to do, just let me know. Give me, 3 months to prepare or 2 months to prepare, whatever.
Yeah. Did you hear about Floyd Mayweather fighting Pacquiao in Japan?
Prison?
I heard about that.
I was there when they announced
Is it real?
Yeah, Pacquiao got in the ring and announced it.
Wow.
Floyd, but a real fight or exhibition?
I didn't hear that part.
Oh, wow.
I think it's a real fight.
Real fight.
It should be a real fight.
You think
Yeah,
it's
they
too
wouldn't do an
late?
exhibition.
Floyd may want to do exhibition so he can keep it 0.
Yeah.
Oh.
You think Pacquiao beat him this time?
I don't know if Pacquiao's been in fights, so he's been fighting, you know what I'm saying, like real fights. Whereas Floyd's been doing exhibitions with these guys. So Pacquiao might have the upper hand because he's been in real fights. That's
No ring rust.
not as much as Floyd would have because Floyd's not fighting real guys.
Yeah. You think ring rust is a real thing?
I know it's a real thing. Yeah.
Why is that?
Because you have to get in there and you have to it's kind of like you have the guys that are really good at the gym and they just like gym fighters or whatever, but they go to the fight and they can't really do anything because they don't fight enough. They're just in the gym sparring or whatever, but they're not fighting. So you have to get in there and actually get that. It's a mentality. I think it is. It's a mentality that you have to go in there and hunt and knock the guy out or try to win.
I feel like boxers do better with ring rust than MMA fighters because, back when I was young, I used to fight 6 times a year. Mm-hmm. And then boxers, it seemed like you guys fight, once or twice a year? Is it?
Well, I mean, when you have a championship, then it's like once or twice. But if you're up and coming, it's 4, 6.
Oh, times a year?
Yeah.
See, I haven't fought in 4 years, so I want to do boxing now. I feel like I'm too old for MMA, my knees and stuff too busted up. So I want to try boxing. So the ring rust is going to be real when I get in there. And plus I'm doing...
He wants to fight Shannon Briggs.
And so plus I'm doing a different sport.
Yeah, so you have to get in there with guys that are, pretty good to spar with, so you can kind of simulate a fight.
So I got to do a lot more sparring, huh?
I would do a lot more sparring. I did a lot of sparring when I was coming up.
I think another good thing too is I think the environment is another plays a part in that. I think that's why they used to do Floyd's gym, the dog pound. Mm. They have everybody banging on the ring, and you kind of get that feel of people are watching, they're judging me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
It's more real.
Yeah, it gets that kind of that live, right? Because if you get a circle around you of people, you start feeling okay. This is real. I'm not about to get knocked out in front of everybody, right? Like this.
You sparred there before?
Yeah.
So you cool with Floyd and stuff? You train there?
Yeah. He's cool with me. Every time he sees me, hey, what's up? Little Shane, blah blah. He's cool people.
He's cool. He's a good dude.
He's a good dude. I feel like one thing I want to know, because I've heard you talk about boxing before. It's you're very intricate. You have a lot of detail. I love the way you talk about it. Plus, you're a champion. When you're a champion, it's a lot easier to listen to someone, right? I hear a lot of people always, at these gyms, they're holding mitts and they're trying to tell people how to box. Like, bro, you was at a swap meet last weekend. You don't know what it's like to be a champion. Right. So one thing I want to know is, if you were to fight McGregor, how would you fight McGregor? How do you beat McGregor at boxing?
Well, you can kind of look at see how Floyd, went about it. Just basically, it's hard for them to I think to fight in the inside, because they're not used to fighting the inside, they used to fight more on the outside, throwing punches from here. If it's the inside, there's more grappling, and then you go down. You go down the floor. So I would take him at disadvantage where he's not used to. Take him into deep wires and then sink him. So he's not used to fighting in the inside. He's not used to fighting in close. He's used to grabbing in close and doing all kinds. So it's a whole different type of style. And that's probably what I would exploit more. It depends on if I can exploit from the outside, but I think the inside would probably be easier because of because of his style, the way he fights.
Do you guys break down a lot of fights, like when you're going to get ready to fight someone? Do you break down a lot of fights with him, like studying the people you're working with, or mainly just with your team?
No, so like I'll usually like he'll give me like notes to like he'll say, oh, this, that, and the third. I think you could do this. I think you could do that. We don't ever like break it down, but he breaks it down himself, and then I usually do it with my team.
Oh, nice. How do you break down a fighter when you look at him? As you've been winning lately and kind of getting more wins on your record, how are you looking at this, approaching it?
Well, I mean, I think you gotta do the obvious, see what they do good, see what they do bad, see what their habits are, see how they respond to things, and then set up their game plan accordingly.
Pretty basic, just stick to it though. Like stick to the consistency of the game plan.
Absolutely. I mean, a fight should be my turn, my turn, my turn. It shouldn't be my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn. So you got to see what, right? Like it's hit and not get hit, right? Or see how it can be in my favor. If I do well, us fighting in that corner, why would I get out of that corner? I'm gonna keep your ass right there in that corner.
You in timeout. You go to the corner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love it.
Right?
Yeah.
And you do all the things to get you back to that corner.
Yeah.
You do all the things necessary to keep them in that corner. Like cut off that corner. All those things, right?
Yeah.
And you see how he responds to those things.
Hey, I hate to keep going back to this, but that Francis and Tyson fight.
Yeah.
I feel like kind of what you guys were saying. You guys break down the fight, y'all watch it, but I feel like Tyson didn't do as well as everybody thought he was because he didn't have much to go off of with Fury. I mean, Tyson didn't have much to go off with Francis. He can only watch his MMA fights.
Maybe, but I think, and I was going to say this too, it's kind of like you watch, well, for me, I watch the ticks, whatever they do, their step, they blink their eye, they do this to their hand, or they're doing whatever it is. I figure out ways of capitalizing on this, if they put their hands like this, that can capitalize the body shot. If they put their hands down here, when they get hit to the body, get hit to the jab with the body, they put their hands down. You get him on the top of the head. So there's different ways of like calculating what we call the tick. If they step it every time with this, or they bounce it, whatever they do. Like I said, we can capitalize on it, and that's what I try to do. And what I was saying, like we getting close with Conor McGregor because he's not used to that. Like I said, keep him on the rope or keep him over there trying to figure that out for the whole fight. And then by the time you figure that out, you go into the next thing. And then the next thing and next thing.
Keep him guessing.
Yeah.
Keep him guessing. I think that Tyson Fury, he didn't take it serious. So I don't even think he really watched the tapes or anything. He just kind of like, he figured he was going to jab him and keep him at bay. And he wasn't going to be doing anything.
He don't like he even trained.
Well, he didn't really train for it. It looked like he just went out there thinking, oh yeah, he doesn't know what I know, so I can do anything and beat him. And then got surprised that he knew some boxing. He knew a little bit. He knew how to. Tyson showed him a little counter left, when it's over the right hand or whatever.
I think it was purely disrespectful. I think Tyson Fury looked at it like I'm giving him charity. He hasn't made over $600,000 in his career. I'm gonna give him charity. I'm gonna do him a favor. That's why he looked at it like that. And I think it was disrespectful for him to look at it like that. You should never look at no fighter like that. I don't care if he's driving a taxi cab. He can hurt you. And obviously you saw what happened. But with that being said, I heard, a little birdie told me that there was a clause in the contract that said that that Francis Ngannou wouldn't get past the eighth round, and that he bet him $5 million that he wouldn't get past the eighth round. That's just
So Tyson bet Francis.
Wait, we got to restate
$5 million
Restate this.
that he wouldn't get past the 8th round. How disrespectful
So
is
you
that?
heard from a little birdie. I got to make sure I heard this right. You heard from a little birdie.
In the contract.
In the contract, Tyson Fury bet Francis Ngannou that he wouldn't get past the 8th round. And if he did, he would get $5 million.
Yes, on top of
Francis
on top
Rich.
of it.
Francis Rich.
Oh yeah. He got the bag.
But
He got the bag.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, on just pure respect, you're not gonna disrespect me. Like, I'm sorry. Where the pen at? Where the pen at? I'm about to show you.
Yeah.
I don't care what.
They'll light a fire on my ass.
crazy,
So look
right?
at this now. You think boxers are finally starting to respect MMA fighters now more? Because Francis is fighting AJ coming up now.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You seen that?
I seen the that's good. It
It was a smart play on Eddie Hearn, which is his promoter, because you take advantage of where a guy fumbled the ball. Hey, I'm gonna pick that up for you. Let me go get that money, right? Because everybody's now gonna watch it because. I mean, everybody I know was talking about that fight. Yeah. Everybody I know was talking about the fight. Yeah. That man, you see Francis Ngannou Tyson Fury fight, blah blah blah. Man, Francis won that fight. Yeah, you're right because we wouldn't be talking about this right now if he didn't.
So break down that fight. Anthony Joshua coming off big wins this year. He's gonna have to fight Francis Ngannou, who's got heavy hands. Who wins that?
I think if he takes it seriously, Anthony Joshua should win.
Yeah,
I think.
Seriously.
I mean, if he takes it seriously, as he should. I mean, obviously, you.
I'm a bit biased. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a bit biased because I'm an MMA guy.
Right.
But this is what I think. I think that Anthony Joshua is not gonna make the same mistake as Tyson Fury.
No.
Because now he's out there.
So he's seeing like now.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like a trick or like, oh man, he can't do nothing. You know he can fight, so now you gotta prepare accordingly. So that you prepare accordingly. Yeah, it could be different for him because now Joshua's pretty fast and he punches hard too.
Yeah.
You know,
He's fast.
And he moves around. And he moves around good too.
I mean, he's an Olympic gold medalist.
He's
So
an Olympic gold
he knows
medalist.
how to use
He knows how to use the ring.
and you put him on notice. You put everybody on notice.
You woke him up.
What was his problem when he fought? What's his name? The heavyweight
Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, and
I think it was the same thing. You know what I mean? Like he probably looked at his weight,
Fat.
all fat and stuff like that. He probably no. Hey, I mean, it's the truth.
He looking at it like
I mean, the same as Tyson Fury. You look at Tyson Fury, he's like, so it's like, I think
One word. Damn, champ.
I mean, he tried to make it better the next time. I don't know, but yeah,
but yeah,
he came back and beat him though.
He came back.
Boxed him.
He boxed him. He outboxed him. The same time.
When you look at fighters, like you came back to help Jake with Nate Diaz, right?
Yeah.
Why'd you come back to help him?
Well, I told him I could show him a few things or whatever that could make it better for him with Nate Diaz. But then he had his trainers already that was Third and Jay Leon. He had them already. So it's kind of like, I was kind of like this celebrity trainer, just kind of like the eyes is watching. I was actually just helping around. I didn't really train him for that fight.
How do you look at that fight, you think, against Nate Diaz?
I mean, he looked good for what he was learning. He's got better and better.
Nate Diaz was injured.
Yeah, Nate Diaz looked a little.
He was injured. He had like a sprung muscle in his back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm making excuses for him, but it's true though. He didn't want.
But
you
think that would have changed something?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But look, Nate is not a boxer, like
right.
But
I think it could have been harder for Jake if Nate, like you say, if he was injured, maybe because Nate is the type that keeps coming and coming and coming, and then as far as throwing punches and stuff, and that could have caused a little problems. But I mean, Jake, did good for what he was working with. You know what I'm saying? What he was working on. So yeah.
I think he's too young and strong. I think that the same thing would have happened. Like he's too young and he's too strong. Jake works hard too. Yeah.
He's a hard worker.
You can tell.
He trains hard, works hard. So for him to go 10 rounds and only been boxing for 3 years or 4 years, not a lot of people do that.
Does Jake have what it takes to be a world champion?
It's going to be very hard for him to be a world champion with a lot of people like in his weight class, cruiserweight or something like that. That's going to be very, very hard. I mean, I watch with sport, like sparring with Chad Dawson and a few others. He's has got to be the right person.
He's smart the way he picks his opponents and everything.
He's got to be the right person.
Yeah,
but
I mean, he in my opinion, as a like, if you look at his resume as far as like a young fighter, right? Like you could name any young fighter like Devin Haney, all these guys. You look at the first 10 people they fought. Who are these guys? But look at his resume on the first 10 people he's fought.
Yeah,
they're the who's who of MMA, right? Or just fighting in general. Most of them, right? Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got Nate Diaz. You got all these things, and I think it's genius.
Yeah.
You're building up your resume. You're building up your record, as well as getting the fan base of all of those people involved, and it makes more money than they've ever made. So they're on board. Oh, yeah, please.
You have any? No, you have any opinions on Tommy Fury?
No, I absolutely. I think he's really good. I don't know if he would be able to get past the shadow of his brother, but I think he's good. Obviously, he can box his butt off. So yeah, I would love to see that fight again. But I don't think it would be smart for Jake at this point. I think you need just let's move on.
Come back to that.
Yeah, let me get to the championship.
That might be somebody's championship.
No, yeah, right.
They might be able to put a belt on someone.
But I think it'd be best for Jake to just continue on this path.
Yeah,
fight for the world title and just say, I fought for the world title. If he wins, I mean, then he wins.
Why would he pick Tommy Fury? Because
I think it was more so the name value at the time.
Yeah,
right.
But he was picking people that he know he can beat. But Tommy Fury, when I heard he was fighting him, I looked at some of his fight, and honestly, I'm not a boxer. I suck. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a boxer like that. But I saw his fight. I was like, damn, this kid suck. And I thought that's why. But then he came out and boxed him. He looked way better than the fights that I saw that he was doing. So I must saw like his early on, maybe amateur or something. I don't know what I was looking at.
And maybe it's who he's fighting as well too. Like the guys could be maybe decent that he's fighting. He doesn't look as good. Tommy Fury is still in his early stages too as well. So it's not like, it's not like he's a top fighter. Cruiser, what is it? Cruiserweight?
Yeah.
He's not. He wouldn't be your top cruiserweight.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this about Jake Paul though. I don't like that he was beating up on MMA fighters. So I didn't like that. But I can say that he got a lot of fans back excited about boxing. A lot of people was hating on. A lot of boxing enthusiasts was hating on him a little bit. But he got me back watching boxing again.
Right.
He got a lot of people back excited about boxing.
Yeah.
When you look at boxing as a whole, as we start to wrap up this podcast, I appreciate you two coming on big time. And I'm really excited we got to get behind you for your last fight and watch you win. Rampage made the call and said, yo, whatever it takes, get this kid on the team. Watch 3 fights, called you the same night.
Yeah. Right. Look, I'm gonna tell you. I know you not living in your dead shadows or nothing like that, but I'm gonna tell you, I wanted to make that happen because of how your father and your grandfather treated me when I first met them. Like I've met a lot of different boxers, and you could tell like when people just really don't care about you, but they was all genuine and cool, and it was a good first impression, and the that lasts a lifetime. I'm like, You already spoken for it. Like your dad treated me well when I met him. Like whatever you need. That goes for everything.
And that was followed up by, and go watch him fight. He knows how to fight. Like this kid's gonna win. So just so we know. But he did say the same thing about you. He said, yo, we gotta take care of their family. Their family always took care of me. So for the respect and the flowers, it's all love and it's all there. And I definitely want to say thank you guys for coming on. But as we get close to wrapping up, one thing I feel like a lot of people in the boxing community do that are not I would say like super aggressively into the analytics of boxing and understanding the science of boxing. They give Floyd a hard time for being a points boxer, for understanding the game, for kind of winning fights rather than boxing fights. And you voiced your support for him, and you said he hits as hard as Canelo at 154, and you said all these things. Yeah. So like break that down for me. Why Floyd should get the respect?
I think that, Floyd in the beginning when he was, what was it? Not Money Made, when he was a Pretty Boy.
Yeah.
When he was Pretty Boy, he fought like, more like our generation, if you will. Like he tried to go for a knockout, very fast, very strong, he still moved and bopped and weaved, but he was trying to get the knockout. When it became Money Mayweather, when it became about money, it seemed like he just kind of he didn't care if the fans got what they wanted. He just, I'm going to get the money and kind of flaunts in people's face. But I give him the respect. I know that he's a great fighter. I know that he's really good because, I'll watch him fight all the time. But I know he's really good because, his work ethics, the way he throws his punches, his jabs, right hands, his hook, everything is perfect. He's a student of the game. And you can tell that by just the way he throws all the shots.
What I heard was that he started breaking his hand, and that's why he changed up his fighting style. I don't know how true it is, but
I heard that too.
Yeah, one of my friends trained with his dad, and she was there, and she became a boxer and stuff like that. And she was telling me,
yeah, I mean, he hurt his hands, but then he was, taking stuff for his hands. So
yeah, but he still wanted to box
to make sure that they can still hit or whatever.
Yeah, it gets in your head though if you break your hand more than one time.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a video where I think Stephen A. Smith said that he's won like 4 of his best fights with a broken wrist.
Right.
Yeah. So like, I don't know how true that is though with his style though, but is it because you voiced your opinion and your support on him for his power?
Yeah, he definitely, when I fought him, I was surprised about his power, meaning that when you attack Floyd, he has a way of making you run into it and you feel the power like a collision. But when you kind of box away from him, yes, he has power, but not like he does when you're trying to attack him. And that's what he wants you to do. He wants you to attack him so he can throw his confidence. Kind of like what he did with Ricky Hatton on maybe a few other fights, but he likes for you to come to him. And yeah, he's not weak. He's strong. And he, like I say, he trains hard and he does all the things you're supposed to do as a fighter or as a champion, to be the best,
Before we let you guys go, can we meet Tito Ortiz? I heard you about Tito with you. Say that. Give me the drink. If you got open drinks.
Yeah. Yo, hey, but this thing's been rattling. So you gotta like hold on.
Here. Hold that.
You say hi, Tito?
Oh, Tito!
You want to say hi to everybody?
Hey, Tito! This is my little buddy. What's up, brother? Oh, man, he like, fuck you.
Come on back over here.
Come here.
Oh, you want to go where the honey's at?
What is going on?
Where'd he go?
He's humping my leg again.
He's humping your leg?
Yeah. Come on up here, buddy. This
go.
guy has molested me 3 times today. He's my little buddy.
You guys always mob around with this?
He does.
I have to take it with me everywhere.
Companion.
It's like having a baby.
Like having a little kid, yeah. He's I take him to Vegas all the time though, so he can he has friends like the family monkey out there too.
Do you gotta have like what you call like those service animals?
Service, but service animal, license and all that.
Will you make
in Vegas you don't though.
You say what?
In Vegas you don't. In Vegas you can have the exact animals in Vegas.
You can go anywhere with him in Vegas?
In Vegas, yeah.
Man, I might move to Vegas just to give me a monkey.
Vegas, Texas, and Miami. Or Florida.
Can he go anywhere? Can he go into the casinos and everything? We going to the strip club.
I don't know about that.
We gonna make it rain, baby.
You might be able to, yeah.
Bro, I'll go anywhere. I'll go anywhere with a monkey. If you stop raping me, if you stop molesting me.
Oh my God.
Look, if you was a female monkey, you might have a chance. You a dude. We got the same things. Quit molesting me. I like him, bro. I like animals. When I went to Vietnam, one of my friends there, he got like the biggest gym in the world. I've never seen a gym this big.
Wow.
And he introduced me to another guy that he's about to do business with. He said the guy is so rich, he got his own zoo. The guy said he got like 300 tigers. Wow. So he said next time I come, I can go there and see his zoo. I love animals, bro. That's cool.
No.
Uh-oh. You don't want none of that energy drink. He got hops.
Rampage, you're going to have to take us out.
All right.
Come here.
Tito Ortiz, Tito Ortiz, chill out.
Chill out, Tito.
Tito, I got to end this podcast, Tito.
Come here.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Hey, thank you guys for joining us. This is a very special podcast for us. This is the first time we had father and son, and they're both legends and at their own right. One's doing it, one did it his way, and one doing it his way. And we proud of both of you guys. Thank you guys for coming in here. And,
thank you, man.
Yo, hey, I would sit in my seat, but I got a monkey low key. Oh,
oh, shit.
Oh no, it's like the hangover.
It's like the hangover.